Good evening. Welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And tonight we're going to pick off from where we left off from last night. So, you want to call yourself black? So, last night we came to I hope we did, because I try to make everything simple. And I try to make everything simple for the generations that are behind us. Because what's going on now with the generations as they pass down information, if you listen to them speak, they're not leaving anything. They don't care. They say anything, they think anything, and they do anything. So tonight we're going to be clearing a lot of that up and pass this down to the youth, under 10 years old. So they'll have some semblance what's going on. Because if they don't get it, you may get it on your way back through again. So I want to share a couple of clips with you so you'll see what goes on with so-called black people who refer to themselves as black. Now I know it's a term that most people hear it and they get all wet from hearing this term. But this term is something that you're not. And when you call yourself that, and when you act that way, and you teach your children this is them, is nothing but doom. So I want to share a couple of clips with you to show you what these terms mean and what these terms mean when we use them. Here we go.
And black people are rarely black. I see mostly various shades of brown and tan, and in fact, some light-skinned black people are lighter than the darkest white people. Look how dark the people in India are. They're dark brown, but they're considered white. May I see the color chart, please? People of color is an awkward phrase that obscures meaning rather than enhancing it. What shall we call fat people? People of size? I also don't say African Americans. I find it cumbersome and confusing. Which part of Africa are we talking about? Egypt? Egypt is in Africa, but Egyptians aren't black. They're like the people in India. They're dark brown white people. The same would apply to South Africa. Suppose a white racist from South Africa becomes an American citizen. Couldn't he call himself an African American? If for no other reason than just to bother black people.
You see? As we go through this tonight, I want you to pay attention to how the term black is used. It's not a badge of honor. It's to mock you and to make fun of you. Guess who never gets it? Never. We think it's cool to use. And it's a term used to mock you. But when you take the term and use it against yourself, there's no longer any need to mock you because you're going to mock yourself. This is what African Americans, this is what black people do. This is what they teach their children to do. And I'm sure off of this, I'm going to put the link of tonight's program into the chat. So if anybody want to come up and refute or say what I'm saying, they don't get it, please do. Explain to us. Because I don't know about you guys, but I am sick of Negroes talking about stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. They don't have a clue, but they just think they can keep on saying it. And what it does is it ruins the children. Now I want to show something else. Now this is what's going on today. Because we call ourselves black, we think that we're African and all this stuff. And this is what's going on today, right now, because we're never honest with each other most of the time. We always lying and bullshitting to each other, never know truth. This is what's going on over in Africa right now. It's a kind of a long clip. I'm not going to play it all, but I just want you to get the meat of what's happening. Check this out.
Conversation.
So let's talk about the Gambia and the fine chocolate brothers that live out there, younger ones, who live in more of an impoverished situation, some without even running water or plumbing. But with all of their fineness, there have been reports of American women and British women, European women, all older women, who are packing up and moving to the Gambia to get with these men.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us.
We're going to talk about 5 African American women and 1 Black woman from the UK who have since been deleted after moving there to make a life for themselves. Take a look at what Andrea Martin, who is one of the Black sisters from America, who is since deceased, was involved with a man in the Gambia, and she's going to talk about her experience and also share, I guess, a cautionary tale about American sisters who are electing to move out to the Gambia. Take a look at this.
I'm here today to talk about the domestic violence that is taking place on the continent that no one seems to be talking about. A lot of folks come on talking about relationships and dating on the continent, but there are situations where sisters are coming over here and dating Gambian men and realizing that they're not who they thought they were. Okay, so that representative has left the building. After, I guess, a few days, weeks, they find out that the individual that they're with is possessive, unstable, physically aggressive. These individuals, when they are told they no longer want to see these men, are being abused.
So Sister Andrea has shared what goes on with domestic violence.
So what I want you to pay attention to, that's enough of that. You can go watch this yourself. But notice how it reads. Black. What's the definition of black? Nothing. You go over to the Gambia and tell them that you're nothing, they're going to treat you as such. You would think with all the education and all this that we think we know, we would get it. We don't. Then remember, why is it worse for women? Because women are the ones who have the children. They're the ones who teach the children. Passport sisters, passport, they same thing. They're the same thing. Not knowing who they are, not caring. You know the attitude, have the arrogant attitude like they can do what they want to do. I'm grown. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy, nigga. Right? Ain't that how we get out? But always notice Black American. And guess who never knows what the term black means? Just take a guess. Never knows. And like I say, we'll call your children that. We'll call your mama that. Everybody. Remember how people work. You think it, you say it, and you do it. So tonight, we're just going to basically focus on what's being said. And remember, your words are vibration. Just like you inhale and exhale, when you say something, it comes back to you. These are things that you used to teach. You don't do it no more. Remember, we work by thinking, saying, and doing. And if you constantly refer to yourself as something that you're not, you're going to be in a world of trouble. There's a old saying that I learned when I was in elementary school. Watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your deeds. Watch your deeds. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. Character is everything. Now, to just show you what that means, and this is what I'm saying, we do this every moment of the day. Watch your thoughts. If you're thinking that you're black, your words are going to be black. Your deeds and actions are going to be black. Your habits, what you do every breath you take, your habits, what you do repeatedly, your habits become black. Your character becomes black. And what are black characters? Hebrew Israelites, Moors, Nation of Islam, these black Muslims, all this black stuff that you say you are. You're putting that out in the world. Other people don't look at themselves as black. They look at themselves by what their people set up, the country they set up. Zambia, they call themselves Zambians or whatever. We don't do that. With all the education we got, we don't do that. We do what we want to do. Your words, and please keep this in mind, because I know it's something that we don't pay attention to, but we're going to have to if these children are going to have a fighting chance. Because if you're on social media now and you're looking at how so-called African American blacks behave, you have to want to vomit. It's that bad. Check out your words, what you say. Just give me a minute. I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. They call you Black Americans. I doubt if anybody came over here that your ancestors referred to themselves as black. Matter of fact, I bet you any amount of money they didn't. But somebody named you black, and guess what you did? You took it on the name so they don't have to do it no more. Their whole purpose would destroy you, to take you out of existence. They don't have to do it anymore, because one of the things in nature is what comes around goes around. Whatever you do comes back to you. So they've learned not to do anything to you, to have you do it to yourself. That way they kill two birds with one stone. They don't reap the karma that comes from screwing you over. You reap the karma. And you see that happen every day. So since everybody wants to come to America, since everybody wants to be an American, let's check this term out, what it means. And guess who doesn't know this? Black people. And if you tell them this, if you share this information, what I'm about to share with you now, they'll cuss you out. First of all, what I want everybody to do is understand, because what you have in these fake Indians, these Native Americans, what they try to do, they try to gaslight you and tell you you're not who you say you are. Black people just follow along with it. Check out the term American. And when they ask you, well, what language do you speak? You just say American English. The people in England don't speak how we speak over here. Go listen to them. They came over here and learned to speak how you speak, like the incoming immigrants do. They learn to speak your language. Guess who don't know that? The so-called African American. And the word isn't American, it's American. It's American. What does American mean? What does it translate to? Guess who don't know this? And again, if you show them and tell them what it is, they'll get pissed off at you. American, a native of American. Remember, native is a slave. Look up the term, look at what these terms mean. And that's our problem. People can just say anything. We'll just pick up what they say and start following along. The people who call themselves native originally applied to the original people or copper-colored races. Put a penny on your arm, that will kill that argument. Found here by the Europeans, but now applied to descendants of Europeans born in America. They call themselves you and had yourself calling yourself black, taking you out of existence. American, this is how you quash all arguments, knowing what you're talking about. Guess who never knows what they're talking about? Never. One guess. Never know what they're talking about. Just always talking, confusing everybody that's listening. So you have the term American, America. All they do, and get a Bible. Don't get the King James Version. Get the King Henry VIII version. You'll see that they spoke a totally different language, wrote a totally different way. Get old books, 16, 1700. Notice that the S is a F. How did they change it? You changed that. But since you don't do genealogy and find out what your people did, you never know. What African Americans and Black people do, they only do one thing, what they're told to do. Don't you? Never figure stuff out. Never get information from their ancestors. Don't know how to access it. If you tell them how to access it, they'll cuss you out, tell you lying. That don't sound right. You know how it's done. Puerto Rico, rich port. Costa Rica, rich coast. And this is all you do. This is all you do when you want to find out something. Just find out where they come up with these terms. What do these terms mean? How do we always never know nothing? Because really, we don't really care. When you look up, when you break down the term America or American, it's a compound word made up of different words. Remember this, and this is what I'm saying. This is something we don't know. something that we don't pass on to our children that have them utterly confused when they grow up. When you talk about the people that came over here first, anybody should know that it was the Spanish, the Portuguese, the French who came over. Haiti, Mexico, the Spanish islands down, um, Mobile, Alabama, Florida, all that's Spanish. Those were the people who were here first before the English came over. When they got here, they was calling what they saw. They was naming what they saw. In Spanish, the term ame, am, when you translate it to English, it means love. That's what they thought when they first got here, because wow, everything was shared. Food was shared. Resources were shared. Shared it. These people came over and said these people would make nice slaves. Then here come the French. All you have to do is go to Google Translate and do this. Guess who doesn't do it? You don't tell me what to do. I can do what I want to do. You ain't my daddy. That's how Black African Americans do it. Then French, aim, ame, soul. That's what the term means in France. When they got to Louisiana, or what they call Louisiana now, soul. So when you ask people, let's do this one. So AME, the first three letters in the word America or American translate to soul. When you're in Spanish, it translates to love. Now, what does Rican translate to? And guess who don't know this? Guess who don't share this with their children? Rica. America, AMERICA, rich. Who's the rich soul people? Why do they call it rich soul? Why do they call your uncles, fathers, grandfathers soul brother number one? The queen of soul. Why are those terms? Everybody knows what that means when they say that. But you don't call yourself that. You call yourself Black. Why? And arrogant about it, aren't you? The rich soul people. How is it that Native Americans, hey man, and I'm hearing these Native Americans are straight punking Negroes. They don't have nothing to say. They don't say nothing. All they do is say what they've been told. That's all they do. Right or wrong. So when you say these things, just like the sisters that's going over to the Zambia getting unalived, this is the position you put yourselves in. You don't share this with your children. If the women who are going over to Africa now, if their parents shared this with them, we wouldn't have no problems. We would have no problems. But we like to be arrogant, dumb, don't know nothing, and continue to run you yap. That's how the black people get down. That's how the African Americans get down. If you ask them where their people are from, they don't know. What did they call the area where your people are from? I don't know. Right? You know what African Americans do? They say they came here on a boat. Impossible. They won't even, they'll say that's them. Won't you? So remember, you think it, you say it, and you do it. And you really don't think it. You're just told what to do. What you call African Americans and what you call black, there's rarely any thinking on them. You know how to do that. They don't do it. And you can't tell them what to do. Right? You know what they tell you? You just say whatever you're told. That's how you get out. Isn't it? So if you tell the truth, it'll stop your children from being in the situation that you're in now. But you don't care. You just lie and confuse. That's the definition of black. That's the meaning of it. People are not colors. Things are colors. And the last time I looked, a lot of you, well, not this audience, not people who listen to this podcast, highly intelligent. Just do what you're told. Don't you? A lie. Most will lie and say they don't, ensuring that your children suffer the same fate. And being that life is just a circle. Roy Ayers, listen to a song, and you might want to do this. Go listen to a lot of the music that your people were putting out, 70s, 60s. They were telling you things not only through the words, but with the music. You used to could decode music like the best of them. That's why you dance and they call you soul people and rich soul. No more. No more. Abba be Papa. So this is what I mean. You got people out there that are brilliant. I'ma be mama, Abba be papa. Find out the spiritual, because you have to ask yourself, and this is what I mean. This is what black people, this is what African Americans don't do. What were the spiritual philosophies over here before all the immigrants start coming, giving you theirs, and you take it, you fund it? Who was Abba? What was Abba's role? What were the spiritual practices of the people, of the soul people, the rich soul people? What were the spiritual practices of them? These are your ancestors. What were their spiritual practices? You know what the African American says all the time? I don't know. Never know. Never know nothing. And you put your children in a horrible position because you don't know. You think it, you say it, and you do it. That's how most people on the world do it. You think what you're going to do, you say what you're going to do, and the vibrations of your word is the building block of what you say you're going to do. I mean, this is simple. This is simple stuff. Guess who don't believe in it? So that's it for tonight's podcast. But tomorrow, remember, you think it, you say it, and you do it. So last night we talked about how Black people think. Tonight, we brought up what happens when Black people say something. When they say it, remember, the vibration sent out is making up what you say. It's bringing it into fruition. It's a vibration. You can't see the words, just like you have Wi-Fi or wireless. Your words bounce off of and make up what you say. When you say you're nothing, guess what you'll be? Shouldn't your children know that? Guess what the Black man says? And arrogant about it. Arrogant will cuss you out. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about what Black people do now. You're going to be embarrassed by it, but you better stand up to it, because what they're doing to you right in front of your face, and I don't even have to explain it, you see it, is what's happening. You seeing what's happening, what they're doing to you. You have a group of people that call themselves Native Americans. Oh, we got Michael Hampton in the house. You got a group of Native Americans talking about they're trying to sue you because they know you don't know anything. Brother Michael Hampton, what's going
What up,
on,
brother?
man?
What up, brother Kerry? How you feel?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
Just like you, bro. I'm great. I'm great. It's great to be alive today.
Man, I was supposed to be up in your neck of the woods today. I have an uncle that's turning 97, but I wasn't able to make it.
97.
So I'm gonna see you soon, though, dude.
Oh yeah. Hey, in a few more, at least another year, and I'm gonna get to moving around the states like you have. I'm gonna get to moving around. It's just gotta be,
Let me just give people a background on this brother, Michael Hampton. This is one of the brothers, when I put out this African Americans Ain't Africans years ago, this brother contacted me and he was like, dude, I hear exactly what you're saying. And I asked him, is it hard to understand? Am I making it hard? He's like, no, dude, it's simple. It's simple. This is one of the cats who have always been supportive of me, who's taught me things I didn't know, because that's what we do. We share, words, deeds, whatever. But people who call themselves Black, African American, Hebrew, Israelite, Moors, whatever, you're not being who you are. You're being a sock puppet for somebody else. What's going on, Mike? What you want to share with us tonight, man?
No, I want to listen a while. I just saw you. I said you're live. I said let me chime in. Let me get set, ready to go. So let me listen for a while with you, bro.
Well, cool, man. Well, we're basically doing a 3-part series on these terms, how we describe ourselves. And it's one thing when people describe you and put monikers on you. It's one thing when they do it, but when they can get you to do it, it takes everything. Yeah. They don't have to reap the benefits from what they do to you. You're gonna reap them. And guess who don't know that?
We.
If you're right, I mean, really, these poor kids, man. These poor, just like the ones who are repeating it now. you didn't have a chance because nobody told you. We were all into these groups, Black Panthers, everything, every mass movement that you saw that happened with your people. One thing that you always did at the end was lose. And you champion it. You clap for it. You brag about it. And you were the biggest losers. Michael Hampton's from a place called Chicago. One of the stories that you hear about coming out of Chicago all the time is the story of the Black Panthers. Fred Hampton. Bad dude. And so my question is, how do all the children get killed and the adults go on to have government jobs and jobs in the university? Guess who don't know that?
Us.
You don't know. And this is stuff that you should be able to think about and see and move on and train your children to think and look at things a different way. We don't do that. So that's why I'm here to share, because I have children, grandchildren. I damn don't want them to come up in this crazy world that I was brought up into, because I was taught, just like everybody else, to be dumb. That's what we're taught, to be dumb. No.
Seems to work out for some of us, Gary. And I'm being sarcastic, but you know, that means I don't have to be accountable for anything. I can blame it on the reverend, the teacher.
Right. No, you have to be accountable, because remember, this is life. What goes around comes around. You are an extension of your grandmama, your great-grandmama, your great-great-grandmama, your great-great uncles and aunts, your cousins. You are an extension of all of them. Don't you know when you die, you become a part of the world? Don't you know your bones become part of the dust, part of the whole atmosphere? So when you talk, your words bounce off of that. Guess who don't know that?
Us that's
We
not
don't
listening.
know. We don't, you know, and the embarrassing part is we're arrogant about it. I don't gotta know nothing. You don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy, nigga. You know what we do? Dude, I'm serious. Isn't that what we do?
Bro, yes, because I'm about to say this. Now, I just turned 60, and
Happy birthday.
changed. Thank you, bro. And you a year older than me, right? I'm putting your age out there, huh?
I'm a year older than you. But actually, listen, so this is why I tell everybody who say they're old. Is that tree old? Is the air you breathe old? It's not old. We don't look at, you got a woman up that's going across social media now that's 70 some years old. Fine. And I know you've seen her. This woman is saying she's 70 something years old and beautiful.
Yeah.
Why? If you don't count, you don't age. These are things that your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents used to live by. It's like the brother was talking about Abba earlier. What were the spiritual practices of the indigenous people here? You ask the average African American, what was the spiritual practice? I don't know. They never know. Yet they keep running their mouth, confusing these kids. And then the kids grow up pissed off because you don't know. So that's my thing. That's my purpose for being, man, is to leave something where these children can think something that they haven't been given. Because if I happen to come back through here, I want to have a path that I could pick up on and follow.
Well, Gary, looking at your title, it says, "So you want to be black," etc., etc. Gary, I'm hearing Trump supposed to be taking "quote unquote" Black history out of schools. In your opinion, is that a good thing or maybe a bad thing?
It's Black history isn't the history of nobody because there was no Black people. This is what
Right.
I'm saying. We honestly think Black.
Hmm.
So you ever seen a football player with the eye black on his eyes?
Yeah.
What is that for?
If to block the sun that they can see what they're doing clear, than they would without it. I mean, running
Simple.
toward the sun for a field goal, that
Okay.
glaze, man, can, yeah.
Okay. So exactly. Is to block out the light, right?
Okay. The light of the mind,
Right. Right.
huh?
No, I'm serious because this is what
I know you
these
are.
terms what these terms mean is to block out the light.
Mhm. Stay
That's
in the
what
dark,
that
huh?
when you call yourself Black, that's what and light in the mainstream means intelligence. You can see, you understand. Don't you understand when you say you're Black, you're blocking yourself out? You're putting your children in a position they don't want to be in. Isn't that what we do?
That's what we're doing.
That's what we doing.
But I say it's getting
So
better. If we go back
you
30, no, no. Let me wait a minute. I'm speaking too quickly. Continue. If we go back some years ago, it was getting worse. I think it's kind of tightening it up. But I'm only talking social media
yeah.
wise, street wise. No.
Oh, well, but you're right. I mean, because if you listen to these youngsters, they are not playing.
No.
Um, the guys that are 40, 50, I mean, dude, I hear some of these people on social media and I'm embarrassed. You you got to be kidding, dude. No communication skills. If you're having a conversation like you and I are having, that doesn't happen.
Not often. I think the barbershops have stopped it.
The barbershops have stopped what?
A decent conversation of something meaningful.
Yeah, yeah. What is that? And you let other people. Man, I heard this African, this brother. He had to be in our age group. Got on talking that Black talk. This African mopped the floor with him. Mopped. I mean, I was like, it was embarrassing. Do you think you can go over to Africa and talk about Africans the way they talk to about you over here?
No.
And this is what I'm saying. We with it. We cool with it. These people can come over here and say anything they want to. You know why? Because they know you don't know nothing. And you're arrogant about it. They know you don't know. Do you remember this probably about 5, 10 years ago? Some woman came over from the Congo and she tried to climb the Statue of Liberty or chained herself to the Statue of Liberty, talking about freedom and
Mhm.
something that she wouldn't dare do at home. You remember that?
Yes, I do, clearly.
Guess who don't remember it? Guess who don't care about it? This is what other people from other countries come do to you in your backyard. And we say nothing. We don't teach our children anything. This is what we do.
I think we teach them mostly the wrong thing, thinking it's the right thing to stay ahead. I mean, I can make that opinion, because I have 5 of my own, full grown children, grown ups, and I
Man,
did what
what
I
you doing
could
with
with them.
5 kids? You ain't supposed to be having no kids, man. You supposed to be offing yourself.
Huh?
You ain't supposed to have that many children. What's wrong with you? So, this is where, I mean, you listen to the male female dynamics talking about growing. How are you supposed to have children and grow when you're at each other's throat? I'm talking about males and females. It's embarrassing. The world is in your backyard watching you make a complete fool of yourself. That's what's happening.
I noticed it. Okay, hey, look, I do my thing on social media, but public wise, it's hard, Gary, to try to discipline. Well, should I use the word discipline? People's children on a public CTA bus, the Chicago Transit, and the trains. That's just detrimental, man. You know, it's not like a lot of us don't care, but the
Right.
consequences are awful, man. I got grandchildren, like you said, man. I want to live a long time, and it's hard to step out and say, "Hey, man, don't do that. Hey, sister, don't do that, man. Hey,
Right.
it's rough, man.
And they will
You know."
scratch your eyeballs out if you say that. They will scratch your eyeballs out. So this is where we're coming from. So listen, this brother here, this is what I'm saying, man. You have to do that because like he don't want his children to grow up falling into these problems. That's why he tries to teach them who they are. Hey, do you know your people did this? Your people live right here along the Mississippi River. Your people live right there by the Colorado Rockies. Your people were the people in Minnesota. And there's images and names all over the place. Guess who doesn't know?
Us.
I know people 70 years old. What you talking about? Don't know, don't care to know. I'll slap you if you don't. That's where we are. So what I can say about you, brother, is I appreciate everything you've been sending me because you've been sending me a whole bunch of stuff that
Well,
makes me go, "Damn."
Gary, you kept confirmed a lot of things. I think I met you, well, let's say African American and African, it's about 2016. The earliest might be 15, but the sister led me to you all on Facebook because I was YouTube. I was a YouTuber and I was starting things, you know. I come in
Right.
debunking, man. I just fresh from out of Bible school in Missouri. I was fresh and I was I didn't come out preaching the word. I came out damnating it, man, because there was just so many contradictions in that book, bro. And I was raised a Baptist, but some questions, I remember you saying, but you confirmed it. Some questions the parents can't answer, they just dismiss you, you know? So
Right.
when you start seeking for yourself, you find out the answers. So that's what I
Yeah.
did, man.
And it works, right? You look
Yes, it
at the
works.
world totally different and your place in the world, so I just like I say, man, I just want to thank you, man. You've been very supportive. Every time you send me something, it's always something to blow it up. Always find some little, and a lot of people do that. You just find little pearls.
Mhm.
It's like I tell a lot of brothers when they go over to Germany, when they're in the military. When you're in the military, when you go to Germany, go to those churches. You're painted on the walls. You're painted on the ceiling.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
we should see. I mean, this is how don't we know this? You're painted on the ceilings. Out of all the people who've been in the military, we don't know this.
Let me say this, Gary, to add on to what you just said. Now, when I was in the program, it's called Teen Challenge. Now, this was the later 90s. And this was a Bible school here in Chicago, man. And I had the opportunity to go downstairs in that basement. But that's one of them, it's not a Catholic church, but it's one of those old Catholic cathedrals that they were using for Christianity. And while we was down in the basement getting commissary, me and a few other guys, we saw a painting of the 12 disciples. I said, this is the later 90s. They were all Negroids looking. And we had to ask the guy who brought us down there, how come this isn't upstairs in the sanctuary and everything? Man say, because that don't bring in donations. That white one does. We get it now. That really opened up my mind. We get it now. The truth ain't worth a dime, is it? A lie
Nope.
pays a lot of bills, don't it?
Oh,
I get it.
and this is a part I got from a person, kind of the same thing that you're talking about. We were talking about how the Native Americans make all of this money at these casinos. And they were saying that, well, we don't have casinos. I'm like, you're missing the point. Who's in the casinos giving up their money? Who's always giving their energy away to other people? That's why everybody's attacking you and calling you pretendians and all that. Because if you find out what's really going on, life for them stops. Everybody is feasting off of you, your parents, your children, and the African American, the Black people, make sure that it continues, right or wrong.
Well, Gary, I still have work to do just like you. And as long as I can breathe again, wake up each morning and move around, I I still search for things I haven't found. I listen to others and go behind them and research what they put out. I got to go behind it before I put it out there, man. You know. So we're gonna continue doing what we do, man. If I can wake up anybody, because I got my children, the grown ones. That's on them for their children, my grandchildren. They kind of know how their grandfather is and where he stand at. They know they ain't from another continent. They know they are Americans. That's what they are. They either black out, the brown out, they are. We can respell it, but they know who they are. The older ones, the grandchildren, the ones 20 something.
Listen, everybody that's listening, all the confusion will be cleared up if you go in your jar, your drawer, and take a penny and put it on your forearm. The penny damn near disappears. That's who you are. You're not Black. You're not African. You're not Hebrew. So I had a brother call me today. He called me. He wanted to kick my ass because of what I said about the Nation of Islam, and he didn't get it. And I'm like, how don't you get it? And he just, I kick you, I kick your dude.
He had a tantrum,
Dude,
a fit.
because he, not that he didn't know, he didn't want to know. He wanted to keep living the lie. He wanted to keep living the lie. And when a person that wants to live a lie wants to live a lie, there's nothing I can do. Brother, live your life, dude. Not knowing, arrogant. And that's where we are. So look, man, I'm gonna go ahead and clear it off now, man. But we got another one tomorrow. We're gonna talk about what African Americans and Black folks do, because it's not about what you say. Because remember, saying is just a building block of what you do. Your words are vibrations. When you say it, you're building what you're gonna do. You do it. Everybody does it. Tomorrow, we're going to end this by what Black people, what African Americans do. And what they normally do, they normally work against themselves. So I hope you can hang out with us tomorrow night, brother, because you bring a lot of flashlight to the conversation.
All right, Gary, I'm gonna come through, and you
All
stay
right.
blessed, bro. Hear me?
All right, brother, thanks. Copper colored lifestyle. You're a sweetheart. Hey, this is the end of so you want to be black. So you talk black, you think black, check out what you do, what black people do. They make sure that black people go nowhere. That's the reason they exist. We'll see you next time. Peace.